Sales communication skills. Be curious and try to examine everything. These will help you start conversations or keep them going. Just like a musician practices, you need to work on your sales communication skills. Exercise your social muscles and they'll get stronger. When you're out in public, strike up a conversation with a stranger using relevant elements from your surroundings. Continually build your conversation chops everywhere you go. When you find someone continually complaining to you, turn it around. Everything is perspective, and if seen in the right light, you can turn a negative encounter into a positive one. Don't tell them that they're wrong. Just try to move towards a better experience. Try to leave everyone you meet a little happier than when you met them. Every time these people see you, there'll be a positive association with your face. Remember, everyone you meet is a chance for you to grow your network. People are drawn to people that make them feel good. A good salesperson will become a social magnet. Be involved in the conversation. Lock into the conversation and keep your mind away from anything that might distract you. To keep your mind in the conversation, you must be receptive to what's being said and not thinking of what you have to say. A lot of sales reps miss out on opportunities because they aren't hearing triggers or important details being said. Stay positive, don't criticize, and respect other people's point of view. This doesn't mean you have to agree with what they're saying, but by being receptive, your mind is more open to see different perspectives that will help you build a better rapport. It will also help you know how to better approach your pitch with that specific prospect. If you notice that you're having trouble following what's being said, ask if they can clarify. You don't want a potential customer thinking that you're aware of something that you're not. This could lead to confusion and a disastrous situation later on. Don't be afraid to socialize with your prospect outside of a sales interaction. People are more likely to buy from someone that they know. Building relationships may also help open the door to their networks. The more expansive your network becomes, the more prospects you have. Keep detailed notes. The notes will help you remember the little details about your prospects, like birthdays, needs, and so on, that make all the difference in establishing rapport. Make your point clear. Focus and clarify your message. You don't want your prospect to think that you're all over the map. You want them to see how great your product is and not get lost in misinterpretation. A good tip to try is videotape yourself giving a sales presentation and see if you can improve that delivery and message clarity. If you have any anecdote, joke, or amusing story that's not directly related to delivering a clear message, then keep it to yourself, no matter how tempting it might be. Get your message to them and don't meander around the topic. Time is valuable, so don't take long in your delivery. However, you want to remember to communicate naturally, so don't feel rushed. If you can speak well, you will inspire confidence. You should limit the products you're selling to the prospect to 5 or less. Try to identify which product would be the most beneficial to the prospect. Developing sales presentation skills. When you approach the sales presentation process, you want to answer some questions. How familiar are you with the product? Do you use the product? How would you rate it? Why do you use it? Would you use it again, and why? If it's possible, become a customer. If you're in a situation like you provide a service that you're unable to use, try to come up with examples of how your service or product has helped some of your customers. You want to be as real and honest as you can, and know your product in and out. Don't let any detail get by you. When you approach a sell with genuine enthusiasm for and knowledge of your product, people can tell. Excitement can be really contagious, especially when it's genuine. The first thing you will do in a presentation is introduce yourself, the business you represent, and what you're pitching. Ease into your presentation with light facts about your product and company, then follow up with your unique value proposition, what makes your product a better choice than your competitors. When you approach the end, ease out of your presentation by explaining why you're the best at what you do. Throughout the presentation, show pictures of satisfied customers or clients enjoying your product or its benefits. Instead of overwhelming people with charts and graphs, use pictures and images of the product to captivate their attention. You want to read your prospect to see how they respond to you. There may be insights into positive and negative triggers. This will help you identify triggers in your communication that you may want to avoid or expand upon. When you're done, measure the response, ask for feedback, and try to further engage the prospect. Listen carefully at what they have to say. Even if you don't make a sell, this is an experience that you can learn from. The answers to improving your pitch lie in the prospect's responses. Analyze your performance and make corrections to continually craft your skills. At the end of the presentation, find a way for your prospects to interact with the product if you can. Actual engagement will help embed the product, brand, and experience in their minds. Just the interactive experience might help the product sell itself and make the difference in acquiring a sale. When you finish your presentation, encourage your audience to take the next step without coming off as needy or forceful. Practice your presentation on your family, friends, colleagues, and mentors. They may be able to give valuable feedback. Written communication. Personality and emotion can be lost or misinterpreted when sending a letter, an email, or any other form of written communication. Make sure that everything you state is accurate. You need to be able to fulfill any claims that you make. Being completely honest is important in establishing trust with your prospect. You want to make sure that every email you send is real and personalized. Sending form letters shows a lack of interest on your part. Put thought into your correspondence while staying on point. You want your correspondence to take a business tone without seeming like a robot. Gauge how formal the tone should be by the responses you receive. Remember to use the correct form for the type of communication that you're sending. You might want to look online at some examples of the proper way to write letters or emails. Always reread and edit every written communication you send to a prospect. You want to come off as professional and experienced. Avoid sending emails early in the morning or late at night. Many people get text on their smartphones when an email is sent, and you don't want to turn a prospect off by invading their personal time. To draw customers to a website and turn leads into sales, contact market media to see how web design, SEO, and online marketing can bring sales directly to you on the web.